Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, what is tea therapy? It's one of the interventions which is extremely important for people suffering from psychological and psychiatric issues, whether that's depression, anxiety, um, thoughts of self-harm and suicide, going through marital conflict, having issues with your children, any kind of social, psychological, psychiatric difficulty. So I've talked about in my other videos treatments including medication and psychological therapy. But obviously, as Muslims, one of the most important interventions is to improve our iman, because as we know, Iman fluctuates, it will go up and down, it doesn't stay constant. And there's the dalil for this is many hadith that mention that our Iman fluctuates. It's really vital that we remain vigilant about our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through salah and through Quran and through dhikr. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub, through the remembrance of Allah, do hearts find contentment and peace, which is something that we are all looking for. And it's especially an issue for those experiencing psychological and psychiatric illnesses. One of the really amazing hadiths, which is in Sahih Bukhari, hadith number 1145, where Abu Huraira narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah, the blessed, the superior, He comes every night down on the nearest heaven to us when the last third of the night remains, saying, is there anyone to invoke me so that I may respond to the invocation? Is there anyone to ask me so that I may grant him his request? Is there anyone seeking my forgiveness so that I may forgive him? SubhanAllah, what an amazing hadith. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, every single night, He descends in the last third of the night in a manner befitting His Majesty to the lowest heaven, and He asks, which of my slaves is asking so I can give him? So this is a golden opportunity. TT, Tahajjud therapy, is to wake up in the last third of the night, make wudu, be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, put your head in sajda and make dua to Allah, because Allah Himself, this is the period where He is the closest to His slaves. So this is a golden opportunity for us to, not just for those of us going through psychological issues and social problems, but for all of us, like the Prophet ﷺ used to pray every night, to seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's assistance and make dua to Him to resolve our worldly affairs. And this is something that's really neglected in the Muslim Ummah, unfortunately. It's a sign of a strong believer. It's therapeutic in the sense that you wake up in the middle of the night consciously to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Usually it's very quiet. If you have children, they're usually asleep. There's no distractions. Most of the community is asleep. So it's an opportunity for you to have this direct connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and experience this amazing iman, psychological boost. And it's definitely something that works. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is the only one who can rectify our affairs. So why do we not take this opportunity to ask our Creator to help us in our issues? And now obviously I'm focusing on psychiatric and social issues. So people suffering from anxiety and depression really need to, do pray tahajjud as best as they can, to the best of their ability. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put barakah, inshallah, and give you shifa from psychological and psychiatric issues. So this is something that I wanted to highlight because it's neglected, like I mentioned. So in addition to medication, psychological therapies, this is really important to pray tahajjud. And like I mentioned, it's TT, therapeutic, tahajjud therapy, or therapy through tahajjud, triple T. This is something that you should speak to your family members about. So all of us should engage in this ibadah, and inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.